Hello and welcome to We, Me and Us. We are delighted to have you here as we dive into the exciting journey of leading, coaching and transforming organizations in our rapidly changing world. I'm Pierre Neis, your host and Agile coach. I'm truly passionate about sharing real-world insights with those eager to create meaningful change. At We, Me and Us, we're all about exploring new tools and perspectives that inspire impactful transformation. Let's embark on this journey together. Welcome everybody on the We, Me and Us podcast. I'm your host, Pierre Neis. And today I'm absolutely thrilled and happy to having here Wan Fadzil, a good friend from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Am I right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. And so, Fadzil, who are you?
Okay, that's a tough question to do. I retired from corporate life. So after 35 years of working in corporate, I got lockdown started, and I had so much fun working from home. When return to work started, I said, "Well, that's it, enough. I'm old enough to submit my papers." So I submitted my papers. So I'm a retired man now. So I run a small training company, really, really small. It's just me and my wife. And I do corporate training. That's what I do. In my spare time, I play music with a band. I'm a bassist. So,
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yes.
What kind of music?
Well, we call it jazz, but I don't think it quite fits the definition. But it works. As long as everybody has a good time, we are happy. We're just trying to have a good time.
So let's call it jazz, even a jazz lover. This is jazz. If it works,
this is
it's jazz.
Works for me every time. Yes, that's right.
That's very good. Mm-hmm. And what are you doing now as a retired from the corporate world, running a little company with your wife?
Yeah, so I run a bit of training. My wife does developmental work for children, and I do developmental work for organizations. So I kind of like go out, meet people, and for those who need, I specialize in agile ways of working and change management. And my biggest focus right now is on transformation management. So yeah, so that's what I do. The beauty of it is that I work on my own now, so it's up to me how I want to play. But more uplifting is the work that I do outside of work. Thanks to your friends, I got involved with Play14. So just recently I've started mentoring groups to run Play14. So we've done a couple in Malaysia, we've done a couple in India, and we're bringing it to Japan end of this year. So we're really, really looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, and I have a promise to keep, right? So yeah, you're bringing Play14 to Japan, and I have a promise to keep, right? If you go in Japan, I have to come.
Yes, you do. Your name is already in there. So we'll try and put it in.
Shoot. But I promise you I will come. I know there is Play14 in Kuala Lumpur
That's right.
in August. You say the weekend after August of the 1st this year is 2025. And yeah, it will be for me an opportunity to come to join, and I will make maybe a workshop. We can maybe make a workshop even together on Agile organizations. Do you believe it can be quite interesting?
We definitely should.
And the idea is that the people attending the workshop, they will have a golden ticket for the Play14.
That would be great. Yes.
Yeah. So the idea is we can mix both. So let's say if it's even Kuala Lumpur, or maybe you're coming from, I don't know, let's say maybe nonsense, China, Indonesia, even Australia, or maybe Singapore, or maybe you're coming from India. If you don't need to come only for 3 days, you can stay 5, maybe a whole week there. So you can learn and have fun and networking a lot.
Definitely. I think that would be great. If we'll have people from your side of the industry plus from the Malaysian side of the industry. That'll be great networking opportunity. Just can't wait for it to happen.
This can be good.
Mhm.
So, okay, I always promise I'm not coming to sell something here, but Play14 is a non-profit. It's a not-profit. Now my question, I will ask you, why did you choose Play14?
Okay, it's an interesting story. It's a story of what we call uh, serendipity and
Yeah.
coincidences. Yeah, m- many years ago, I started in my place of work. We started playing games and simulations in our training, and I
Mhm.
was involved in training somewhat part time, and we started playing games. At that time, not many people did it, so we were one of the few that actually did, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And I continued that on. And then one day, being in the Lego Series Play Circle, one day one of my friends called, "Hey, we've got this thing coming to Kuala Lumpur. It's called Play14. I think you should check it out." So I looked at the brochure and I went to my boss and I said, "Could you pay for me to go for this one?" He says, "I don't see the value in that. There's no return." So I said, "Okay, fine. I'll pay my own and just give me leave." So, I had that Friday off so that I could attend this. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I went into Play14 and suddenly, I found that there's this whole bunch of people who think like me, who do things like me, and we're having a lot of fun doing it. And so yeah, so that's the way it started. And I got so excited about it. We were planning to go to Bangkok after that, and the lockdown happened, so back in Bangkok did not happen. So things went quiet for a while until a couple of years ago. Was it last year or the year before? When I was having a chat with one of the participants of that Play14, and he says, "No, I wish Play14 would come to KL. Then I can do it again." And he says, "Why don't you just organize one?"
Mhm.
So it was just over a cup of coffee, and he says, "If you organize that, I will give you my support." He says, So I said, "Okay." So I got a few people together, and we organized it. It was very small. We couldn't find a place for it, because we weren't sure how many tickets we were going to sell and things like that. So
Wow.
I live in an apartment, and we have this common area where you can hold dinners and things like that.
Mhm.
So I went to management office and says, you know, "Can your place fit 60 people?" They says, "Yeah, we can." They say, so I booked out. So I guess it's the first Play14 to be held in behind my house, behind somebody's house. And so we had a lot of fun. And we had a lot of fun. We managed to attract people from India, and that's how we brought it to India, because they came, they had a lot of fun, says, "We want to do it in India." I said, "Sure, no problem." So yeah. So I'm kind of stuck in there. It's so much fun. What I love most about it, it's all these things that you read about agile. Many things will happen, and here that I see, it's agile to be experienced. If people are, I'm not doing a sales pitch here, but for people who've heard about agile, who's curious about agile, I think they should at least once in their lifetime attend a Play14 and experience it for themselves.
This is
Yeah.
good. This is good. Yeah, because the Play14 has been designed as one of the first purely agile organization testing model. Because okay, it's quite basic. It's 2.5 days. Is based on open space technology, and so self-organization. So it's nothing pretty new. We have a lot of people doing this, but how we
Yeah.
do it is a little bit different. It's really, really much quite crazy. The idea when you're feeling very comfortable, let's say when the hosts are very comfortable. So usually you make the kickoff as a host. You make people, and then you hand over directly to the audience, so they can
Yeah.
continue organizing it, and you're taking back only the last day. So meaning even the host can be part of the participants. So you're not
Yes.
only managing the thing, which is a nightmare. And yes, and Play14 are never big. One of the biggest was, I guess, in Italy was nearly 200 people or even more. I don't remember. I saw they needed a team just for managing all, helping people, ticketing, which is not what we are looking for. Right? It's more.
Right.
So for those, the listeners and maybe the watchers who doesn't know what it is, go on play14.org take a look. The idea is non-profit, so we cannot sell Play14. We cannot even sell in companies a Play14, so it's not allowed. It's really community-based. And it's 2.5 days serious games and simulation. Usually you do coaching. But it's not only Agile people. The idea is it's open to the rest of the world. So we have a lot of people completely fascinated. It's going now more and more around the world. So being one of the co-founders, even a designer, is more you see your kids growing. And now they're traveling the world, you see, what the heck? So you're very proud. And you see, what is your life, right? This is more something, what? Okay, you don't make money for this. Okay. So it's not, so for a lot of people, what I'm doing is just stupid, right? But in fact, I do like you, Agile organization, usually very, very huge companies. And I have the network, and I use the Play14 network to have my partners in crime. So that is huge hauling group from us in Germany. The need is, we need 300 coaches worldwide. Do you have people? Say yes. And I always pick up people from Play14. I knew it, to have the capability, because these guys, they know how to run facilitation.
It come to KL, well, we have our own way of doing things, we try to have a good time. I think for those who've not been to Play14, it's a real community in the sense that we've got a whole bunch of competitors, we've got a whole bunch of suppliers, we've got a whole bunch of enablers in the industry, in the ecosystem. We're all sitting together in the same room. We're sharing like nobody's business. We're friends for that 3 days that we're there, and then the next day we go back and we become competitors again.
And then we fight again.
Yes, and then we fight again. Yes, but it's amazing because I find that I never truly understood the spirit of community until I attended my first Play14, and that's when I saw where how powerful a community could be. Because just in there we're all the same. We're all either learning, or we're either sharing, or we're just trying something out, and it's beautiful. And I think for those who've not been there, what is it that we try out? It's practically anything. It's play. It drove me to start reading books on play, and I found that play is, the best definition of play I got was it was something with a set of rules which outcomes is not fixed, just like budgeting. And I say like, budgeting? It says budgeting is true. You have rules, what to budget and what to put in, but at the end of the day, whether you really spend it or not, you don't know. Whether the amount you set aside is
planning the same thing. Strategy planning is always the same thing.
Exactly. Strategy, especially, yes. It's a lot of play, but for some reason it's not fun. Yeah. So it's wonderful now. It's extended my reach. I've made friends in countries that I never knew I would have friends. India, yourself, Zurich, and a whole bunch of people all over the world. So it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. And it's something that I hope will continue.
And so it's completely self-organized.
It is.
So, and even the crazy thing, because at the beginning, we used to mostly all living in Luxembourg. So I was living in Luxembourg. So we had the 3 founders. We were there. And so we created a non-profit organization in Luxembourg, a register one. So we want to make also, we collect also the payments, so we can help to finance all the others Play14. And after a while, it's beginning to be so big that we had a call, we have to gather. This is impossible. I will spend all my time just to organizing this. We were in a restaurant with Cedric and Jan, and we were thinking, do less, just do less. As we just have, we are the keepers. What are we keeping? In fact, there's the values. We came about the values, the way of working. Like you can't want to organize a Play14, you have to attend one first. So the deal is very clear. You know how easy it is or not. Then you have a mentor, which is free, and you will have the support of the whole community. And that community is not a constraint in a way. The community is, you have to feel a community like in a group, but even more free than before. And this is kind of touchy feeling. So it's also fragile. I know it's fragile. There's a couple of others, but this seems to work quite well. And we are caring, of course, that we're not only talking with Agile people. So now we have CEOs, we have artists coming, we have a yoga teacher, laughing yoga teacher, have a lot of psychologists, psychiatrists, researcher, a little bit student, family people. Now we have kids, not that much, but it's getting worse. So we have, so in fact, you can bring everything, even cats and dogs. It's okay, in a way that you be your true yourself. And emerging from this, there's a couple of things we're still testing. So me and a couple of others, mostly on the coaches, or maybe we do psychosociology of organization. This is how we can see Agile. So we try to see what's really happening. And so when we use I use gamification to explain leaders how to lead.
Right.
So instead of pushing, you just nudge, right? And nudging is also based, we use also the dynamics. I had 57 dynamics from gamification that you use usually in games that you can apply to get some kind of dynamic out of people, but in a nice way. So not forcing the tray, but really so people can try. And then we have a lot, we tried also a couple of things and we discovered, to be honest, even if you have the idea in your head, when you make it happen, we started 11 years ago, and we're still astonished, really astonished, like, you have usually the first day you have the doers who know how to lead, and the second day all the shy people say, oh, we'd love to try something. Say, go ahead, that's cool, right?
Yeah, that's true. I noticed that a lot. In Play14 as well. On the first day, a lot of people are too shy because we're used, especially like on this side of the world, we're used to a lot of structure. And suddenly to come and say, well, it's up to you what you want to do, and so, on the first day, everybody's kind of like shy. But on the second day, the shy people have to come up to the front because otherwise they get left behind. There's this fear of missing out, and everybody's like FOMO. So I say, so let me do it, So on the second day, in one of the places that I did, on the second day, people were queuing up right up to the door, waiting to pitch. So we had so much fun there.
That's cool.
Yeah, and they tell us that that we, the host team, brought magic. I said, no, you created the magic. We just brought you into the room. And it's lovely. It's an amazing experience.
And sometimes you can imagine. I remember it was in Hamburg, north of Germany. We had this lady. She's German, but living in Italy. I guess she's fascinating a lot with kids, with infants, and even so in kindergarten. She came with these kindergarten songs and exercises, and you see all these mid-aged people just doing all the things that the kids are doing. You see, oh my! If you see this, you see what's happening here. People are just insanely crazy, and people are pretty much serious, right? These are not crazy, fancy people, just average, genuine people, and they're just feeling comfortable to just be stupid.
Yes, that's right. I think.
And maybe if I don't know if you know, there is even a higher level of let's say friends of Play14 is Italian people. They do the Manifesto del Gioco. It's like the manifesto of games, and they are really crazy. Really, you go yelling and making be a baby, but this is even therapeutic, right?
Right.
But the idea is really to connect a lot of ideas. And then people, when you get the feedback, say, oh, Pierre, we attended this one. Are still new ideas every day. That's the thing.
That's the thing, yeah. And you're kind of like I run the same games. I've been to 5 Play14s now, and each one of it I play the same game. For my contribution is always the same one, but and yet at the same time it's different because I find myself I'm building,
Mhm.
every time I go there, there's a new layer that gets built on top of it, and then another new layer, and it's enriching, But I don't know if there's going to be one day when I say I got to bring something else, but so
Maybe.
far I'm still learning. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, so do come to KL, Pierre. Come to KL
Oh
on,
yes, I
on
have
the 1st
to.
of August.
Yes, I will. I will. I will come. I told you I'll come, and I will. I told you also that you have to come to Tokyo, to Japan. So I have to budget a lot of money.
So Japan, they're planning it in November, but they're rechecking the dates because you know November is a pretty busy time for most people. So we want to see, we want to see whether that's a good date or not,
It's
and they might
it's
change
the
it.
last month of the year, the last
Yeah,
month for
exactly.
because after December the 15th, everything shut down until the 15th of Jan
Yeah, exactly right.
for whatever reasons, right?
Yeah. So in November is when either you don't have money or you have a lot of money to finish. So
Oh, yeah,
either way you're busy. Yeah.
you have to consume the rest of your budget so you get the new budget for Jan, right?
That's right. That's right. We call it Christmas shopping. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you have also maybe all this kind of stress of budgeting rollout, conversation, negotiation all the time. So you see all the leaders hyper stressed because they're on
Yeah.
the budgeting and I can help you. Not now, not now.
Yeah, but maybe that's the pitch, Here, this is the time where when you're most stressed. Come and have a bit of fun,
Oh, it is.
and learn how to do it in a fun way.
And I have an acquaintance, somebody I know from Belgium. So Jürgen Nismet, this is for you. And I remember a couple of years ago, he ran budgeting games with
Ah,
cities. Oh yeah, and I also said this happened also in California. You can there are games for budgeting, even make here, and this is so you have monopoly money, and this is what we want to do. How much do we want to spend here and there? It's quite interesting. I guess it was part of the innovation games book. I don't remember quite properly, but it's quite interesting indeed. And yeah, if you do it properly, the way like a professional, so meaning with a lot of filled slides and meetings with an agenda where you just want to know when are the 5 minutes you can talk with the rest of your time, not even listen to the others. And this is not working for you, but you do this in 2 hours, 3 hours, even online. You don't see it coming, and then you discover it, and you have tada, this is the outcome. You say, oh man, we have mostly everything done right. And yeah, a couple of things very interesting. So, Fadzil, my friend, what are you doing else that only Play14?
other than play for well, nothing much, I think. I'm just sitting around enjoying being retired.
This is good.
Yeah.
So a retiree saying, I just do nothing. I never saw this. Usually when you retire, you have no time at all, right? If you
Oh
try
yeah.
to change your parents, which are retired, they say, "Are you available?" No, no, no. Have this plan and this plan and this travel. I'm going with this club now in the core. Then I'm going here play music. And when can I see you? Oh, it's okay. Hello. You have a crazy life.
Yeah, it is. It is. But I'm feeling my time doing the things that I like. So like most of the time I'm designing workshops. I spend time designing workshops and running workshops. Yeah, that I have to do,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, because I have to keep my company alive.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm doing my music and I'm spending time on Play14. Of course, disturbing my newfound friends from Play14. Asking them if they're doing anything interesting, learning stuff from them. Uh, it's great to experience this how shall I say it? It's an unselfish learning, because people are just so willing to share. Even after the workshops now, our groups are still active because we're still, hey guys, I've got this. What shall I do? And someone sends you this link full of resources that we can follow. So it's
Oh, yeah,
really
yeah.
great stuff. Yeah.
And you have the Slack channel, which is okay-ish, but you have your friends from Sydney asking, "Oh, I'm running this. What do you think?" So you
Yeah.
get feedback. Because of most of the
Yeah.
time we are sitting alone, so we are missing feedback, and here you can reach out.
Yeah. And I think we're comfortable enough. We've played together enough to accept feedback as it is. This is just feedback. No one's
And we are
being
pretty much comfortable being stupid.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Um, yeah.
So,
Mm.
do you know Manolo
Manolo, no, I don't think so.
from Madrid?
No,
Manolo
I don't.
Lopez. If you're listening, you're the next I will interview. Because I had also a bet with him. I have to go to Madrid this year because I avoided since the beginning because I just don't want to move that much. I say, oh, the old guy, me making jokes, he sounds more like dad jokes, this ugly old uncle in the corner making dirty jokes. Let the kids play more, right? But I have to go. And Manolo is also awesome. He's great. Very interesting. I think can be a great match also. And we have a couple of people really, really you discover really interesting people. And then just give you an example. With my friend Pierre Neis, we used to work together in Middle East in Beirut a bit. When we ran the Play14 in Beirut, I was there. It was small also at the university. And I had a lady working in a group. She was fantastic, right? I say, "Oh, what is your name?" "My name is Grace." And then in talk, you say, "Oh, Grace, what are you doing?" I say, "I'm a psychologist." I say, "Oh, fun, good." Uh, with what kind of psychologist? I'm working with women. I'm working for the United Nations. I say, okay. Oh yeah, I work in the refugee camps. I say, what? And then you have this, what is, this is real work, right? What I'm doing is just nonsense.
Yeah.
Then you have this kind of people in front of you. What? Or this lady who wrote 4 or 5 books, quite known, but she doesn't care. Or we have actors, or we have also had one lady, great friend, from Berlin who contribute to the Love Parade, which is a techno parade a long time ago in Berlin. I say, what? I saw you on Arte Television. What the heck are you doing? Oh, yes, I was part of this. What? Right? And you have this mind blowing. And the mind blowing is not only because you're rich and famous, you're mind blowing because some have really interesting lives, right?
Yeah.
And this is cool. This is really cool. So I'm thrilled to come to KL. What can we do, last Fadzil, to invite people to come to KL? So KL, Kuala Lumpur,
Yes,
Malaysia.
KL is from Malaysia. That's right.
The food, the climate. So climate is warm and 100% humidity.
It's summer all year round. Yeah.
So it's a killer for me, the big fat man from Germany.
Oh, you will love it because everywhere is air conditioned. Yeah, we've got a lot of shopping malls, which is the rest boring stuff. But we love food. Food is like a national sport. Yeah. I never realized how much it was until someone pointed out to me. Why is it that when you give directions, you always have some kind of food related to it? And then when I sat back and thought, it's true. When someone asks me, you go and just follow this road until you see this restaurant on the right, or you see this guy selling this thing on the left. It's always about food, everything. Yeah. And so we love to eat. Our food here is a blend of many cultures. Even Malaysia itself, Malaysians generally, they are cross-cultural. We are a mix of, historically, we have many different people from India came here, people from China came here, people from Indonesia came here. And we all mixed, and what we have today is a bunch of people called Malaysians. Yeah, so yeah, so it makes for an interesting, because different places you go to have different ways of doing things. The food is different. There's some commonalities, like everything is spicy, right? And nowadays, the latest cultural mix is that everything is loaded with cheese. I don't know why, but we have that, yeah. So if you come to Malaysia, don't miss out on the street food. Don't miss out on the food. We've got all kinds of stuff that we have.
I need to be guided by the pro like you.
No worries, no worries. We'll take you around.
But I do believe is it quite similar, or it's even better than Indonesia?
I don't know really. I've not been to Indonesia, so I can't say. But I think we are distinct. We are similar, but yeah, at the same time we are distinct.
How can I see without having a huge reaction of the cooks from that area without being with my Western European taste is for me like a mix of Thai cuisine with Indian spices.
Well, something like that. Yeah, we have something like that. We've normalized it that way. But the best part is the dishes you find in KL, you can find it in Indonesia, you can find it in Singapore, and you can find a version of it in Thailand as well.
I need to try your nasi goreng or your fried rice.
Yeah, but you come to Malaysia, this is the way we do it. Some people say that's not the way, but it is.
Okay, so to closing here the talk, so we will invite all of you to come, and if you come to join with me, we can make a workshop. You're coming for the whole week in Kuala Lumpur. It means the last week of July, so we can stay the weekend after August the 1st, so we can make this the Play14 and meet very interesting and very nice people from there, and not only for there. And
Malaysia is cooler in July than Europe.
Oh, cooler than me.
Yeah, I was in Italy in July last year, and it was like 42 degrees, 40 degrees. I said, no, Malaysia is 36. We can do that. It's nice and cool in Malaysia.
What do you think? I'm living in Switzerland near the lake. The lake is 200 meters here, because I know if sometimes it's weird. We had one maximum 38, I guess, 2 years ago, which was not normal at all. But you have again 15 in the night, so you can survive. When I was in Da Nang in Vietnam, I was nearly dying, because you had 42 in the day, 42 during the night. You wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning, big light, everyone at the beach. I say, the stupid mind of me, say, I'm going to the beach, because the locals knew better. They know the sea should be fresh. I went in the water at 4 a.m. in the morning. The water was warmer than the outside. They say, what? This is where I make fun. I make fun of you when you're coming here. We have minus, or we go in, let's say, north of Norway, north of Finland, when you have minus 30 and you have the snow. They say, what is happening here? But this is fair play. Very good.
But I think that's why everybody needs to travel. There's so much to experience, and two things happen. Either you end up hating what you have, or you end up appreciating what you have when you go over to other places around the world.
But I travel a lot since long time, and I'm always fascinated, not about the difference, about the similarity. How similar we all are. This is absolutely fascinating. So Fadzil, of this last, I will conclude here. Invite everyone to come to see you. You're awesome. I really thank you so much what you have done, and with the community. All my cheers to all the guys there. And I would really love to come there. And I will share with you when I take the flight, so you can maybe yell at me or come with me, having fun with me, so we can start even the Play14 at the airport of Zurich. And I guess we have to make a stop in Singapore, something like this, because maybe it's not a direct flight. But it will be great and awesome to see you there. So, Fadzil, thank you so much. And Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you. And thank you for having me here, Pierre. It's really wonderful. It's so nice to talk to someone,
My pleasure.
And yeah, I hope to see you here. So, bring everybody and then we'll have a big party here.
Absolutely.
So,
Thank you so much for joining us at We Win Us. We are excited to be on this journey with you as we support your growth as a leader and change maker, helping you build resilient and agile organizations. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd be grateful if you could share it or connect with us on social media. And if you or someone you know has valuable insights to share, please reach out. I'd be thrilled to feature them. Until next time, keep evolving and stay inspired.